All right, this next section we're going to cover the drag rudiments. That includes the rough, drag, double drag, lesson 25, drag-a-diddles, drag paradiddle number 1, drag paradiddle number 2. We've got single rhythmic-cues, double rhythmic-cues, and triple rhythmic-cues. The backing tracks, we're going to take you several different places. We're going to play some of the grooves I was playing there, including reggae. We're going to go down to Jamaica, play some reggae. We got hip-hop. We're going to go down to Argentina for some tango. Over to Spain, some flamenco music. Then we're going to go to Cuba and Africa as well. All right, so we're going to start with the rough. You ready? Drag rudiments. Now we're going to talk about roughs and drags. And I'm trying to clear up some confusion for you. On the list of 40 rudiments that PAS has out, they call a rough a drag, and a drag tap. When actually, a rough is a rough, and a drag is just simply a drag, not a drag tap. Okay, a rough is similar to a flam. A flam has one grace note and a primary note. A rough has two grace notes and a primary note. The spacing of those grace notes is going to depend on several things. Number one, the tempo. Most of the time, if you're playing them fast, you can play the grace notes as 30-second notes. But if they're slow, they're actually going to be faster than 30-second notes. This will become obvious as you're playing through the tracks. As you'll notice in tempo 1, with all the roughs, the grace notes are a little closer together. And then on tempo 2, a little further apart, and then tempo 3, tempo 4, they eventually turn into 30-second notes. Now this notation, there's a modern notation and what we call an old school notation. If you look at exercise 3 in lesson 10, you see the grace notes written out. But in exercise 4 of lesson 10, you see slashes. The slashes mean you divide that note in two. So a 16th note becomes a 30-second note, regardless of the tempo. When you have two grace notes written, the interpretation is left up to the player. The drag is simply a rough plus a tap. I'm going to demonstrate by playing exercise number 3. This is a drag, but it may also be called a drag tap. This notation, the old school notation and the new school notation, is presented throughout all of the drag rudiments. So be aware of the diddle interpretation as you're going along. It may change if it's written as grace notes, depending on the tempo. If it's not, if it's written as a slash, it stays consistent regardless of the tempo. Now I'm going to play the etude in lesson 10, which includes roughs and drags in various different ways, as triplets and in duple form. Okay, I'm going to play this at tempo 4.